Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ERN Division 3 Round 13 at Hungary. I mean, what a great track. I mean, it is a great track, but also at the same time, it's a bit of a difficult track. And joining me today, we have Anthem, who's stepping in for D6W today, and I will be your main commentator, and Anthem will be my co-commentator. So how are you doing today?
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great day. Sunny qualifying. First thing I noticed.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
a sunny qualifying is always a good qualifying.
yeah, it's a blessing really. When you're
Yeah.
loading in, you just fingers crossed really.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're just hoping that it's going to be dry. So obviously, hopefully we're going to be seeing some nice quick times today. But whether or not it's going to be wet for the race, that's going to be another story.
Yeah, the drivers will have to work out themselves by looking at their telemetry, of course, and they'll have to make a judgment on what they think is best.
Yeah. So just coming out now is Crowding Door and GR8. So if GR8 is actually the first one coming out, and Finty Racing is followed behind. A couple more people coming out. I see a Renault of, I believe, Shadow Wolf is coming out, followed by a Haas and a Williams of Massey as well. So Massey's going to be one to look out for because he's been doing very quick times recently, doing a great job in several races. Also, Dame Zero at the moment, who's still in the pit lane, but we're just waiting for a couple of people to come around now. So hopefully GR8 will be the first one. As I've just caught him spin round around the absolutely awful corner of turn 5, and I think that's his as well. That's really unfortunate from crowding from GR8. So I believe Crowding Door is going to be the first one to cross the line. He's coming.
If I may interject, I think GR8's got away with a clean wing there, so he should be good for another lap.
That is very lucky indeed. So it's going to be interesting to see. So getting ready for Crowding Door as he's coming around turn 13. Quite a nice corner, I think, and is hopefully going to be starting his lap. Oh no, he's gone into the pits lane as well. Look for the next person to come through, which I believe is...
It could be GR8.
GR8, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep, so would you like to take us on a lap of Hungary?
So coming out of turn 14, smooth on the power, open the DRS and across the line we go to start the lap. Okay, coming out into turn 1, he's going to be judging his braking zone, have a bit of grass on the tyre, so this could be a bit earlier than maybe. Turns in nice and early, doesn't hit the curb too much to over-rotate the car, doesn't come out too far, that'll give him good traction down to turn 2. Braking late, trail braking into the apex to give him good rotation and getting on the path nice and early to get the car straightened up, take it out the kink of 3, down the straight up to 4. Bit of bravery here, not feeling it there. And then swings it in to turn 5, careful on traction, really fearsome as he just did spin on the outlap. See how much curb he takes, tries to avoid the first one, takes a lump out the second one. Here we go, into the fast sweeping sector 2. Takes a nice bit of curb in the first one, misses the second one, but takes a nice line through that, going to give him good speed. Here we go, another bravery corner, takes a good chunk there. Comes down the straight. And here we go, brake into the final sector. Really got to be committed on the throttle. There we go. Picking up the apex there. Nice and narrow, shortest line through this corner. There we go. Power doesn't spin it. Always advisable on a fast lap as he comes through the final corner on the power nice and early, and that will bring him back across the line for a 117.2.
Yeah, great lap. Massey's just gone and beaten.
Yeah, Massey just obliterated that.
Absolutely, and then Beardo Wills is coming with the second time with a 116.6. Fragstar come on the mediums with a 117.3, as well as for A-Tug, 116.9 on those softs. So Massey with an absolutely incredible time on those medium times.
That's blistering.
Wow.
He's just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and Zachas Beast also follows behind with a 116.3, just 3/10. Is even on those softs, not getting close enough. As Dame Zero sets the fastest lap of a 1:15.8. That is going to be the benchmark for those medium tyres.
Well, we know from previous experience these two are rapid in this division, and those two will be fighting it out for pole despite being on medium tyres, which just sort of shows the pace of these two.
I mean, as you said, strategy is going to be an absolute massive thing. As Kylie Boy is coming around the final corner of turn 14, DRS is open. Let's see where he goes. He goes 6th fastest with 1:16.649. Just slots in very nicely there. Just, I mean, I think that's 100th of a second behind Beardo Will. So very close time between the two drivers in 6th and 5th position.
Yeah, those two. It's a nice battle platform in there between 4th and 6th. We could see some more slot in there in the 1:16s, sort of later down there.
Yeah, sorry to butt in, but Massey's just gone fastest with a 1:15.7. Just a 10th quicker than Dame. And those mediums have been for 2 laps. So he's gone for 2 consecutive laps. So, I mean, really great job from Massey there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Dame Zero responds. He's coming into the pit lane on his mediums.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's not much in going for another lap, but I think Fast Scoped is on a fastest lap. With his ERS turned up, coming around the looping of turn 13, coming up to turn 14. Oh no, he's chucked it in the pits. I thought he was going for another one, so I think everyone's going to be sort of pitting this lap now, or maybe going for a second run if they feel like they've gone, you know, just a little bit better.
Yeah, it seemed like it's been a good first run, good close competitive times. I think we'll have a few more. Rico looks like he's going out for one as well. So, oh no, he's just set one.
Yeah. Wow, I mean, so he's jumped up the order to P4 with a 1:16.3. Just, I believe that is 0.03 of a second just behind Zakis Beast on those softs. And then Big G jumps up to 3rd place with a 1:16.05. So really good time from him. But those softs are quite warm, so he probably wants to come off of those softs now and probably stick on a fresher set now, or maybe go for a different strategy.
Yeah, it'll be those softs won't be able to make it much into the race, so he's going to be limiting himself to a 2-stop through that.
Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about strategy for a bit, because there is a range of strategies, because you can obviously go from, I believe, soft to hard. Is that possible? I mean, it
is possible, but you definitely want to start on the really fresh softs. You go 9 laps into the race, and then you take the hards to the end.
Yeah, and then also soft, medium, but that's obviously a 2-stop strategy, which will obviously in turn be a lot slower for the drivers. So yeah, I believe there's one more.
The other strategy would be the medium hards, which is probably the optimal strategy if you're starting on a fresh compounder with any choice, because being able to take the mediums far into the race gives you a bit of an overcut on other people, and traffic plays such a key role around the Hungary that getting stuck is just abysmal for a race.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a difficult track for overtaking. With obviously, there's sector 2. Although there's a lot of corners, it's just not enough to be able to make a move and go for it. But it's not an overtaking track for me unless you go down the straight. That's really it.
Yeah, it's a combination of thin track and no long braking zones apart from turn 1, which sort of combines to create a really difficult opportunity. You have to be opportune in any overtaking maneuver you make. It's hard to go anywhere else, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Fin2 Racing goes with a 1:15.4 on the softs. I mean, with those softs, he's only just gone 0.3 quicker than Massey, just showing you how quick Massey is on those medium tyres.
It will be interesting to see how those two react at the top there. Massey and Dame Zero.
Yeah, and also Shadow Wolf coming down to the bottom with a 1:18, almost dead. And Fragstar, I believe Willa Howard just set one with a 1:17.3.
Yep. No, I think he started it up. So yeah, he's taking us through one now.
Sorry about that.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of traffic on the pit lane exit. Just having a look, we just had a couple of cars just dive out, and Toto Rico almost got caught in that, and is probably quite happy to be in front of that queue.
Yeah, I think our 2 drivers that haven't set a lap are now setting out for theirs. Try and just get a lap time on the board at the moment, I think, is key rather than anything else. Oh,
and
Span, Will Howard, he's
yeah.
lost the wheel. That's really going to set him back.
Yeah, he's right on the line there. Just coming into turn 5. Just right on board with GR8. That is really unfortunate. He must have just, gone that inside curve and turn 4 and then just gone into the barrier. That's really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, and that's going to cause massive disruption to everyone on the lap at the moment because they're all going to see that and, either instinctively back off or try and swerve to avoid it. But it's really unfortunate that he's span off there. It's going to really upset his qualifying. Hopefully his time can do a decent job, but yeah, he won't be happy with that.
Yeah. But I mean, the queue is starting to form around turn 13 just then for the moment. I think people are now starting their probably third and final lap, or maybe just their second lap. As Fastgoat has started his lap, as well as I believe Mercedes.
Yeah, Calf 72.
Yeah, he's started his lap as well. So it's just going to be interesting to see where these quicker laps come in now, because obviously this is really the time when the laps start coming in thick and fast. They're really upping it a lot more as well. Fastgoat is looking very quick around there in turn 4. He may be on a very good lap there if you want to take us on board with him.
Fastgoat is coming through the chicane. He's looking all right. He's up on his previous time, and he's got a big battle pack that he's trying to negotiate his way out of. So any 10th here will be crucial. So we'll take him through the fast left. Takes a good amount of track there, which will give him a lot of speed through there. Brakes into the right hand. Yeah, using a nice amount of track, not spinning there. And he takes a good line, keeping as much speed as possible through there, getting on the power as early as possible, navigating through to turn 14. Keeps it narrow, on the power. He's run out of ERS, but he should be able to get up to the line nice and quickly, and that'll... Oh!
Wow, a 1:15.6. I mean, just 2 tenths shy of Fintu Racing, but that is a great job from Fastgoat in the Red Bull, as I believe may have invalidated his lap. Yeah, I think he's invalidated his lap, and I think Fragstar is just come out of the pit lane.
Everyone's either on an out lap or on an in lap, so it's just a bit of an intersection at the moment. Oh, Zach is on an out lap.
Yeah, fantastic time from Fastgoat. So, I mean, Dame's probably going to have a little bit of competition with the sister Red Bull, but obviously he's done his time on the soft, so he's probably going to be going for the 2-stop strategy of soft to medium and then medium, or if he can stretch it, soft to hard.
Yeah, it depends on how confident he feels on those tyres and how much he's taken out of them, of course, on the out lap and in lap. Because it's crucial to how your tyre strategy plays out in the race, and it's something that you've got to keep in mind when racing around here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really key with the strategy, because obviously, as you said, not many overtaking opportunities, but at the same time, it's just all down to just trying to get that good strategy and just making it work, as ATARC.
If I could interject, we've got Fintu Racing, who's currently on provisional pole at the moment, going for another lap. Just coming through to start this third sector. He's 5 tenths up on his previous lap, and as long as he doesn't mess this final sector up, he should be on for a really good lap here. We take him through turn 13, and he comes out towards turn 14, and we'll see how he gets across the line, see whether or not he can improve by the chunk that he has. Across the line. Oh, wow. That's a brilliant lap there.
Yeah, 1:15.072. That is an amazing lap from Fintu Racing. 6 tenths quicker than the next car of Fastgoat. And I believe Zach Beast just jumped up to 5th place with a 1:15.8. Just shy of Dame Zero, but obviously being on those softs, he probably could have had a bit more of an advantage over Dame. As Big G jumps up to P2 with a 1:15.1, just a 10th behind Fintu Racing. Great job from the Haas driver there.
Really spicing up in Division 3 now. And added to that, Massey's just bolted on a set of softs, and whether or not that stays on his lap, he could come out on the softs, and we know how quick he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see, and pits as well. See if we can find anyone else on the lap. I believe Shadow Wolf, no, he's invalidated his lap. Into Racing's already done his lap.
That's a Mercedes, isn't it?
Yeah, Fragstar's on the lap at the moment on 2-lap old mediums.
I think
Whether
this is
he's
an
gonna take
in-lap.
those-
He was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I think if you want to do a lap with Dame Zero,
Yeah, so Dame obviously is going to be the big guy today. See if he can do any better, see if he can get it back onto pole. But I think he's just waiting at the moment for a good bit of space. Coming around turn 13 and turn 14 now as we're getting ready for his qualifying lap. So this is probably going to be a very quick one as we come down the main straight. DRS is open, really picking up some speed now. Coming down to turn 1, a little bit of a bump and down into the braking zone. A very hard braking zone. Turns in, very nice line there, very smooth on power, not too much of a wiggle. DRS is now overtaken down the small little straight, down into turn 2 and the flat corner of turn 3. Is he going to take a very good line? Uses a very good amount of space there. Is he going to go as fast as he can around turn 4? Yes, he does. Oh, but he invalidates it, just going a little bit too wide on the exit. And that, I think that's going to be it for Dame, unless he can recover enough to go for another lap.
those mediums should be able to last for another. If he can just cool the car down, he should be able to bring it around and start another one. But meanwhile, Zakis Beast is on his third sector, coming around the penultimate corner of turn 13. Puts the power down, keeps it nice and smooth, just brings it, coasts it into the final corner, balancing the car on traction. Puts the power down, comes out the final corner, DRS open, and that'll give him a 1:15.8, and that'll put him up to 5th.
Yeah, it's a real mix of people in the field at the moment, whether it's softs and mediums. It's just really spicing up everything in Division 3. So it's really widespread of strategies. I mean, just going to see where people come out, you know. But I think there's probably going to be a safety car at some point. There is more than likely going to be a safety car coming in. So I believe Massey's probably going to be the first one to start his final lap if he has time. I don't think he's going to have time to get round to the start-finish line. But obviously there is a little bit of a glitch where I think the drivers have a little bit more time to play with.
I think Codemasters have patched that out. Don't quote me on that, but I gave that a try yesterday and I ended up in AI mode, which is devastating really, but we should end up with a flurry of lap times in Division 3 and we'll see who comes out on top.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first one to start their lap is going to be Zakis Beast, so he's going to be coming around the last section of corners, so hopefully he's going to be starting his flying lap and hopefully his last flying lap, so see if he can do any better. Do you want to ride on board and give us a rundown of his lap?
Okay, he's on 4-lap old heart soft, so this could be a very difficult one. But here he comes into the first corner, keeps it tight. Yeah, there's a lot of throttle use there on the exit to get the car rotated and on power. Brings the car down into turn 2, and that gets the car nicely squared up for the exit. Brings it through the fast right and up the hill. Here we go then. Bravery. How much is he going to take? Takes a nice chunk of curve there on the inside, gives a good amount on the outside, doesn't touch this one on the inside, keeps it nicely far away from it to not spin back up the hill. How much will he take to get advantage through the chicane? Nice amount of curve from both turns, bringing him into the flowing left and right sections of Sector 2. Here he comes, brings it through the left-hander, another commitment corner, keeps it pinned to the apex. Lovely way through there, he's up on his time, braking nice and late. Gets the curve to bring the rotation round on the throttle, nice and easy, into turn 13. Keeps it close, brings it outside, throttle on nice and early, and here we go, coasting through turn 14. On the power really early, DRS open, and he's just backed off. I think that's just not to beat his time, so it starts in a bit of fresher softs.
Yeah, so as Finter Racing sets the fastest lap of a 1:14.7. I mean, it goes much faster than Big G as Kylie Boy jumps up to P15 with a 1:15.3. Dame Zero moves up again with a 1:15.4, and I believe that's most of the times.
That's our laps.
Yeah, Big G's coming in. See if the other no, they're all pitting. So looks like that was it for the flurry of times, and I believe that should be it for qualifying.
Wow, what a session. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, so close between the top couple of drivers. I mean, Big G is the 115.1, just 2 tenths behind him is Kylie Boy, and then 10th behind him is Dame, and then 2 tenths behind him is Fast Scope, followed by another 10th is Massey. You get the point. They're all very close, that top section. I mean, it's lovely to see Division 3 getting closer and closer, just bringing the fight to each other a lot more. It's just, you usually see the group just sort of pushing through, getting a lot quicker as we progress through this season. I'm not too sure what we're waiting on at the moment.
We're waiting on Big G to come into the pits. I think the two Hasses are stacked up, so that'll. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Big G. I don't know what's going on, but
Lobby's been a bit weird.
Looks like Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, and Lance Strong. Carl Sainz.
We've got celebrity additions to the race.
Celebrity in Division 3. So obviously not great qualifying from Carl Sainz. And there we go. That is qualifying here.
And I'll run you through our driver order. So Fin2 Racing takes pole in Division 3 at Hungary, and Big G lining up 4 tenths behind him, with Kylie Boy 6 tenths behind him. Dame Zero another 6 tenths behind the leader, and then 9 tenths behind the leader is Fast Scoped. Good qualifying from everyone else, with Massey on the mediums, Zakis B, Speedo Wheels, Total Recall, and other mediums in the top 10. GR8 taking the last spot of the top 10 on the softs. Fragstar and Fragstar, A-Turk, Will R. Howard, Crown Door, Shadow Wolf, and Carve round out the grid. Not being able to take advantage of they'll be able to use fresh tyres in the race. Obviously starting outside the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great qualifying session from Division 3 here. And, well, I'm looking forward to the race. I believe it's supposed to be dry, because obviously looking at the strategies, people going on the mediums. So, I mean, let's just do a little bit of race predictions. I mean, Fin2 Racing starting on pole with an absolute ridiculous time, beating Big G by, I think, about 3-4 tenths. So I think Fin2 Racing might just run away at the start, and probably Dame Zero and maybe Kylie Boy, maybe they might be catching up. But Fin2 Racing has got a hefty gap, and he's shown himself in qualifying, so he's looking like a good contender. And just looking further down the grid, from below 10th, so 11th onwards, they've all gone for that mediums to hard strategy, I believe. So obviously they're going to be coming up the field towards the back end of the race. But I think some of the softs runners may be hindered by some of the medium runners. So like Zakis B, Speedo Wheels, they're probably going to be hindered by the medium runners of like Massey as well, because he's going to be in the way and acting as a boat if he is going to be one. But I can't remember who was saying, but the mediums and the softs, race wear, they're not too different. Their race pace is pretty similar. Obviously, softs coming a little bit more, but those softs tearing off very quickly, are they going to be enough?
Yeah, that's the big question for today's race. But I genuinely believe that the softs will actually be doing the reverse, because the initial race pace should be quite even, so we could have a really good start on our hands. But the edge that the soft runners will have taken out in qualifying could leave them at a massive detriment to the medium runners, and it could mean that people like Dame Zero, Massey, and Toto Rukov were making massive jumps on the first lap, or just a bit later, and we could see some incidents as a result of these the crossover period between the pace change. And especially for the soft runners, when they pit, they will come out behind some of the medium runners outside of the top 10, and that could leave them exposed to an undercut from the medium runners.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Turn 4 is going to be absolute hell. Turn 1, obviously, first corner. It's a bit of a drag strip. Like, you just got to go, pedal to the metal, let's just go. You know, I mean, people with those higher downforce setups are going to be really hindered down the straight on the opening laps. So, I mean, they're probably going to lose a couple of places. But turn 1, it has got a lot of runoff areas, so hopefully we won't see many incidents. But obviously, well, it's Division 3, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Turn 4, hopefully people will respect each other and go nice and slowly through turn 4. But we may see a couple of people dive bombing it up turn 4, as I think there was in Division 2. Sector 2, I think there's going to be a lot of action around there. Just people going for it on the opening laps, and then Sector 3 just coming to a nice slow meandering motion and then coming up to the straight. So it's really going to be really interesting. And Red Bull are really in a good spot with drivers being in 4th and 5th. So obviously that's going to help them in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, they're looking good along with Williams as well, with the 3rd and 6th. Yeah, those two teams could be battling out for supremacy here at the Hungaroring, and it will be, I think, as you touched on there, the action could be amazing today, as drivers sort of struggle for how their pace is going to change throughout the race, and it could leave certain drivers vulnerable to others pitting early, pitting later. It's just going to leave a whole mess and web of tangle of strategies that could be interfered with safety cars and virtual safety cars and yellow flags and instance. It really can just change on a dime.
I have had a word, sorry, that Crowding Door didn't manage to get his correct setup on, so that was probably why the reasoning for his lack in performance for qualifying, because usually we'd see him being probably near the top of the grid, you know, maybe challenging Dame, probably Kylie Boy as well, but I think he's got an excuse. I mean, not having his setup, that's really key. Having his setup just gets you, a lot of time, and then practicing with that setup over and over again will really help the drivers get into a good motion, get into a good rhythm for the race as well.
Yeah, and in the driver's standings, that's going to be really bad for him, because he's in a bit of a battle with our pole sitter, Vintu Racing. Those two are both locked on 100 points, and how this race goes could influence how their championship runs from the end of the race, because the Hungaroring sort of plays host to pivotal championship moments, because it's the middle of the season, and how you race here can sort of set a precedent for how you may finish out the season.
Yeah, like you said, still got half the season to go, as the drivers are now readying up and getting ready to go. But yeah, halfway through the season, so we've still got a lot to play with, and hopefully the drivers will all be readying up after our 5-minute break. And I am looking forward to today's race.
Yeah, I think Division 3 have got a good one lined up for us. Settle in, get your popcorn out.
Popcorn, snacks, let's go. Let's enjoy ourselves, and let's watch a brilliant race for Division 3 in ERN. Right, so
here we go then.
Formation lap. Formation lap's pretty key. Massive was a bit eager on the power there. Formation lap is very key for the drivers, just getting those tyres warmed up, getting them just sort of ready. It also gives you an idea of just how aggressive people are going to be as well. Yeah.
It's people will be wanting to get their tyres up to temperature. Not taking too much wear will be key for those soft runners at the front, because unlike last year, this game has got tyre wear on the formation lap, which adds a bit of strategy on how you want to warm your tyres up. I know that Ramos on the other end of the comms likes to warm his up at the end, because he likes not to take the temperature, the wear out of them at the beginning, and just sort of put it in at the end, and then hope that it stays in on the run up to the line.
Yeah, it is a little bit annoying that we have this whole tyre wear on the formation lap, but just adds a little bit of an element to it, not really pushing too hard on that lap. But yeah, start is going to be so key around here, because obviously once you're in that position, there's not going to be much change. Well, there is going to be a lot of change around for the first lap, but other than that, it's probably going to be staying quite stationary throughout the entire race. But because obviously overtakes are going to be very difficult.
Before we line up, let's have a race pick from our main commentator, Ramos.
I'm going to go with Kylie Boy. You know what?
Kylie Boy. Okay, starting from 3rd.
Let's just see.
I'm going to go for Matty, starting from 6th. On those medium tyres, I think he can make them work.
So there we go. 2 Williams drivers. See if they can do a little bit better than their real life counterparts.
We haven't been paid, I swear. Here we go then.
Round 13.
The tension is just wrapped up now, piling on the pressures onto the drivers. They'll be just wandering in their cockpits. How's this going to go into turn one? Am I going to get the right start? Are the revs going to line up just as I want them to, or is someone else going to get a better start? And am I going to get jumped into turn one? It's going to get really contentious in the middle, and anything could happen.
Right, yeah, as we're looking now, strategies just popped up for me. Soft to hard, soft, medium, medium. So obviously that's going to be the main strategy. And let's get ready as the drivers are all formed up on the start-finish line very nicely as we are getting ready to go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And I don't think we're going to be going, no.
Here we go then,
and
revs,
hopefully it's going to be,
wait for it.
Revs, and here we go. Revs are up, let's get ready for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Looks like Finty Racing gets a very good start, not too much action in the back as people going, oh, and there's a AlphaTauri going next to his AlphaTauri partner as Renault gets a very good start. Red Bulls are fighting each other as Dame Zero gains position, but I mean they're just going wide, and then there's Scott. Big G gets a good start, and Finty Racing's got a really good start there. Dame Zero collecting a position of Kylie Boy, and possibly Fastest Guy is maybe looking around the outside but doesn't pull out. Two Ferraris going wheel to wheel as Total Rico gets past as the Alfa Romeo of Zachas Beast gets very close with Beardo Wills. He gets past him round coming up into turn 4, and it's all action baggers.
Car off, that's Fast Scope.
And that is Fast Scope going off. And wow, was that an action-packed start? As we're starting sailing now. So Finty Racing leading away with a very good start. Another substitute, so I believe that is Fast Scope just pulling off to the side.
No, that was just spinning. Yeah, his tyres will be a bit hot
as
off that.
The Division 3 drivers are now filing in, getting ready to start their second lap. Finty Racing already pulling almost a 1 second gap. And yes, wow, hectic start.
Just as we knew, it's going to be very Fast Scope tyres just spinning again at this chicane. Always hard getting going again on those tyres, but yeah, a bit of a pack forming behind Will R. Howard, who's had a broken wing in the end. Yeah, here we go then. Strategy is going to be key now.
From Will R. Howard, who's just pitted obviously with that broken front wing, but yeah, Danger with an absolute fantastic start, jumping up a couple of positions. Kylie Boy just dropping down a bit, and Total Rico getting a nice move round on Zachas Beast, and Zachas Beast also getting past Beardo Wills for P7, I believe.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that I think there's going to be a few chains of 3 here starting. Dame Zero looks like he's piling a bit of a chain here, so those 3 with the Red Bull and the 2 Williams drivers could sort of form something. And then Total Recall is starting to drop. It dropped off a little on the first lap. Could be closing that up now.
Yeah, Dame Zero has already got almost a 2-second gap to Big G, so Big G and Finty Racing are just going to try and pull away from the gap, from the rest of the grid, and just push away and just see how far they can go, and probably try and get a free pit stop on Dame Zero if they can, because obviously I believe Big G and Finty Racing are probably going to be going for the softs and hards or not, and that's Will R. Howard gone off around turn 6, I believe. I think he's just spun it out. Big G set the fastest lap of 1:19.1. That's a very good lap from him.
Yeah, those. If I'm Big G, I definitely want to just sit in the slipstream, take the DRS, and just sort of get towed along by Finty Racing. Let him take the edge out of his tyres. Let him do all the work.
As Fragstar and Crowning Door going too wide around turn 1, coming into turn 2, and Crowning Door just gets ahead a little bit more on the power. Is Fragstar going to come back at him? No, Crowning Door gets a much better start.
Great move there.
Crowning Door.
Yeah. Been able to just squirt it up the inside using those 6.6 wings that he'll have with the default setup to a good advantage, really.
Yeah, Crowning Door's had an absolutely fantastic start. Starting near the back of the grid, coming into the points into 9th place, so he's going to be very chuffed with himself from having such a good start there. But yeah, as you were saying, the chains are starting to form, so I don't know whether Dame is just struggling a little bit, but he's really holding up Kylie, Massey, Total Recall, and it's just, he's starting to create himself as a bus, and those 2 Williams drivers are going to be wanting to get past. Probably Kylie Boy more than likely, because obviously he's going to be on those softs, and they're going to be going.
Massey's really closing up on him. I think Kylie Boy may have been a bit of an error in the middle sector there. This could close him right up.
He's got DRS, and is he going to be having a look? He's in the slipstream. He might pull out. He pulls out to the inside. He's hard on the brakes. They go too wide down to turn 1. Massey makes a position, goes wide, and Kylie Boy gets it back with the switchback. As coming down, it's turn 2, they're too wide. And Kylie Boy, oh my goodness, and Massey goes down the inside and pushes his teammate wide. Totorico possibly having a look. And Totorico's just gaining that little bit more on Kylie Boy. Is he going to make a move coming up into turn 4? Lay on the brakes, not really. Kylie Boy runs wide. Is Totorico going to make a move on Kylie Boy?
Oh, wow, that was a battle. That was, yeah. Kylie Boy looking to, those soft tyres are going off their fields really badly. It looks like he's not feeling very comfortable on them as he goes wide once again. Total Recall and Zakis Beast are going to be looking to capitalise those and try and improve their strategy. But looking at Zakis Beast, could be pitting in this lap. I'm not sure whether the graphic is telling me something there, but he could be pitting in, and that could be the opening of our pit window.
Yeah, Massey's already starting to close as much as he can to Dame Zero, coming the gap to 1.2. And he's just really trying to close to Dame Zero, who's on the same strategy as Bitter Wills enters the pit lane for his first stop of the race. There's a yellow sector 2 of Will R. Howard, I believe, spinning around again. He really hasn't had much luck in these races.
Carv and Shadow Wolf at the back in 13th and 14th. Shadow Wolf looking to make a move here.
Yeah, Shadow Wolf is looking down. Is he going to make a move? No, he doesn't. Stays behind. Very smart driving from him. As Carv goes very wide, and Shadow Wolf's just going to take that and say thank you very much. That's 12th for him.
Carves is going to be berating himself there for running wide. Maybe if he'd have just put the brakes on a split second earlier, he might have held on to that. He had a lot of straight line speed.
Kylie Boy now is sort of making himself a bus with those softs.
Fragstar span.
Totorico maybe looking. That's very unfortunate for Fragstops. Totorico maybe having a look down the straight. Oh, as he gets very close to Kylie Boy down into turn 11. As we come down into turn 12, is he going to make a move? Oh, he's very late on the brakes, almost hitting him.
Oh, Zakis Beast. Zakis Beast centered up the inside of Total Recall, and these, oh, the tyre's gone. The tyre's gone. Oh, that is
so unfortunate. Kylie Boy hits it into the pit lane as a VSC. That's a virtual safety car. That is so unfortunate from Zakis Beast.
That is.
He just decided to go for it, and in turn, it just didn't work out.
That is devastating.
Yeah, we've got GR8 and Kylie Boy taking advantage of this VSC and just going to go for those pit lanes, maybe get a little bit of time.
Well, that gives us an indication of these two strategies. They both go into mediums for the two-stop.
Yeah, Dame Zero is, I mean, he's caught up back to Big G, and so Big G is only a couple of tenths almost behind Finty Racing, so they're going to be getting quite racy as we go green for racing after the VSC. Carv is obviously catching back up to Shadow Wolf under the VSC, so maybe we'll see he's going to be in DRS range as well. Shadow Wolf as well, as we are going green now. Shadow Wolf just trying to gain that little bit more, but not much is going on at the moment. Shadow Wolf, is he going to make a move? No, just stays back, be safe as possible. Carv is hopefully going to...
Dame Zero at the front is right on the back of Big G. Those mediums are starting to come into their own as the softs go off.
Dame Zero is coming around turn 13. Big G, Dame just goes a little bit wide. Gets a very good exit as those two runners are going into the pit lane. So that's pole position and second place. Finter Racing Big G entering the pit lane. So this has already worked out for Dame. So he hasn't had to bother wasting his tyres anymore in trying to overtake those two drivers. But Massey is starting to really gain on the back of Dame Zero. See if he can make a move on him, maybe. Because obviously they're going to be on the same strategy and they're going to be having to fight the whole way for the race.
Yeah. Matty's just going to be able to sit on the back and sort of hold this.
Yeah, and Crowding Doors jumped up to 4th place after, I don't know where he started, but I believe it was somewhere down in P14 or somewhere like that. He's had an absolute fabulous start on those mediums. Puerto Rico also having a very good race so far, being in 3rd place at the moment.
Crowding Door up 10 places.
I mean, that is an absolute fantastic job from Crowding Door. So Carv is now getting a little bit close to Shadow Wolf, just trying to get that a little bit closer as he can to Shadow Wolf. I mean, he is picking up the last sort of points, but obviously GR8 and those Russian mediums are probably going to be overtaking him very shortly, as well as Beardo Wills, who is a bit of a ways behind. And looking further up the grid, Kylie Boy is maybe going to have to be having a look at Big G, as obviously Kylie Boy, Big G and Infinity Racing, they've all three of them have just recently pitted for those new set of mediums after starting on the softs.
GR8's right in the back of Carve. I think he's just come out of the pits. This is legitimately for position because these two have both got another stop to make. But I think Carve's probably not looking to lose too much time, so he might not fight this too much. See what GR8 does.
Yeah. So I think the smart idea would definitely to be let GR8 by because he's just much quicker, I believe. He's got DRS activated.
I said he's rockets out of that last corner there.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he going to be making any moves? Beardo Will's also trying to catch up to GR8, maybe prioritise on them two battling with each other and just see if he can get an extra position out of this. And GR8, Beardo Will's just trying to stick together, keep pushing up towards Carve. Massey is starting to get to the rear end of Dame Zero, so if he's going to be making any moves. Back down to P11. GR8 still just staying behind, Carve just staying a bit conservative, but is letting Beardo Wills catch up quite quickly. So is GR8 just going to wait, or is he going to send it round into Sector 2, possibly into Sector 3? I think he's going to wait his time because it's just better to wait rather than going for it. But having a look, he's maybe going to be having a look. I just saw he just downshifted just to just get a bit more of a gap between him and Carve. But as you said, Carve's an absolute bullet out of that turn 14 he seemed compared to GR8.
GR8's going to need a massive exit out of turn 14 if he wants any sort of thing here. Oh no.
Yeah, Big G's has the fastest lap of one, and that's a safety car.
Okay.
And I'm not too sure what's just happened. I believe that is Willa Howard.
Yeah.
If I'm not
That safety car's come up right at just the right point for Crowding Door, who just left the session. So
yeah, I mean, do you mind just trying to get him back in?
Yeah, I'll see if I can do that.
Dame Zero, Massey, Total, maybe, and even ATUG, maybe they're going to think about pitting earlier and maybe going on to those hards just that lap earlier, a couple of laps early. But then obviously he'll keep it, especially on the safety car. It'll be leaps ahead of anyone behind them, obviously, because the old pole position was Finty Racing, and then Big G was behind him after they pitted. So probably kicking themselves as they just stayed out a couple more laps. They would have got a safety car, and Crowding Door is back in.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Good.
I was going to say I didn't want him to do bad. He was doing so well already. As Dame Zero, the leader of the race, pits, as well as Massey. I think that's the right decision.
Recall follows them in. Where the Crowding Door can gain control of his car in time. The car's pitting anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's got control of it.
Well. Yeah, he does. So he's very lucky.
They should leave ATUG in the lead, actually. Finty Racing, Big G staying out. Kylie Boy come in. This is really throwing up our strategy right now.
Yeah, Finty Racing is just. I think he's just decided, you know what, I'm going to go for the hards. Well, I believe that's what he's going for, and yes, he is. So that will probably help him. Just, I mean, he's lost the lead now from Dame Zero, but ATUG has decided not to pit, which in my opinion, is a bit of a bad call. But I mean, he may be on some incredible strategy that I don't know of.
Well, what could be happening is he could be able to see the future, and he might see that there's another safety car in his future. But at the moment, it seems like the way that the others have fallen, it's not. He's the outlier here, the only guy to have not stopped, and he'll be exposed out front. But he has got mediums over everyone else's hards. So if he can sort of stretch that advantage and maybe get a good gap to pit under another safety car, that could benefit him. It's a gamble, but it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Crowding Door has done an absolutely fabulous job gaining 8 positions, but I'm just having a look. ATUG, 11 positions. That is impressive. So maybe he's just staying out because, you know what, I want 11 positions.
It's like,
maybe he just wants to hold.
It's like that Carlos Sainz radio message. Say it, Tom. I'm in first. Yeah, but he should be able to hold on to it. He's got some mediums. They're a bit older than everybody else's, but he should be able to use them to a good advantage, for at least a little bit.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a relatively even playing field between P9 and down to Fragstar. They're all obviously on the same, where just recently put on those cars, as well as Crowding Door, Total Recall. Yeah, so I think I was maybe a little bit of a... oh, damn it. Should have pitted. So...
Yeah.
So there we go. The lead is now given back to Dame Zero in the Red Bull, followed by Massey and Big G.
Yeah, Dame Zero's wing mirrors are going to be quite a frightful sight for him, because it's going to be like sharks circling the boat. He's got a lot of people contending for his crown really at the moment, and a lot of fast people. Yeah. There should be quite a few people just being able to go to the end of these hards, and it should leave quite a pure race for us, to be honest. So as spectators, this could be very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be a twist to see what's going to happen. Obviously, Big G is on those medium tyres, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can catch up and maybe just grab the lead, just so he can hold it for a bit whilst he's on those mediums, on those quicker tyres. Sorry, and also probably people to look out for. GR8 and Bill Wills, they're probably going to be making their way up the field on those mediums. Obviously, not all too well worn. I think I just saw Finty Racing in the background, just cut the chicane, just try and catch up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, safety cars definitely brought out different strategies. Well, throwing a bit of a twist into the race, as safety car is in this lap. So Dame Zero is now backing up the pack down into turn 12. So he's going to be just warming up his tyres, getting ready. And he's probably just going to wait for the last moment, possibly. See if he does a Valtteri Bottas or not. Excuse me.
Yeah, Pat's backing up here. See how this affects everybody.
Is he going to go as we're coming around into turn 14? And away he goes as we are getting ready to go green around the final corner. Dame gets a very good start. And Carv picks up a 5-second time penalty as everyone cleanly gets across the line. I just saw in the background the Ferrari bidder was going very wide, and I believe there's a Renault.
Finty Racing.
Finty Racing's just dropped down. I'm not too sure what happened.
Added salt to the wound. I think he span at the final corner of his own volition.
That is really unfortunate. And Carv makes a move on.
Kylie Boy's off.
And Fragstar. Carv, I believe, has just gone round, as well as Kylie Boy. No, sorry.
Yeah, Kylie Boy went round at turn 1.
Yeah, but Dame Zero, Massey and Big G all getting ahead very cleanly. Total Recall as well, starting to get to the back of Big G. Crowding Door also trying to push up to Total Recall. It was a very good start from him. And then GRA a little bit slow on the start there, but I mean, he's just going to try and hold his position as Kylie Boy gets past Fintu Racing, who I believe had another little spin or something. But very clean away from the opening laps for after the safety car. So great job from Dame Zero, almost getting onto a second now over Massey. He's going to be really just pushing as hard as he can to see if he can get out of DRS in front of the other drivers.
Yeah, just having a look through, it looks like Beardo Wills just picked up a bit of wing damage there on the start, which was very hectic in the lower echelons of the grid. But yeah, so Beardo Wills comes in for the pit. Ooh, almost hits the wall, but yeah, really hectic start there, and that's spread out the front pack and the mid and the last pack, so that could be beneficial if there's another safety car. Yeah, Kylie Boy is not going to be happy with that.
I think at the moment, some of the medium runners are going to just be hoping for another safety car, just crossing their fingers, just hoping they can get another safety car. Fast Scope, who previously at the start of the race had a bit of an issue and dropped down, which is really unfortunate, but he's looking like he may be going for an overtake on Fragstar. Oh, he cuts the corner a little bit, gets very close.
Oh, up the inside.
Brakes a little bit as he's going down the inside. He's got on the curb. And that is so unfortunate. Really unfortunate from Fast Scope. That is so... He just went for a move, probably forgot that curb is going to absolutely send him into the wall if he's not careful. And, well, there you go. He touched the curb, and the way he's gone, that curb is awful.
Oh,
He was very brave to go for it there as well.
yeah, it takes no prisoners, that curve, and when you're being squeezed, sometimes there's nowhere to go, so he's going to be kicking himself, but there's not really much more he could do there, fast scoped. Unfortunate race there, but yeah, he'll be on some cards, I think, and he'll be taking those to the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is going to be absolutely brilliant. But Big G, I don't want to say it, but I think his medium's starting to drop off already, because the gap between him and Massey are 1.2 seconds. It's at 1.3 now, so whether Massey's just absolutely pulling away, just putting his foot to the floor and just going for it, or whether Big G is just dropping them behind a little bit, just slowing the pace. But Total Recall maybe looking for it, but hopefully he's realised what's happened further down the grid with fast code that he won't be going round turn 5, very sensible from him. But he's just going to see if he can try and wait until DRS. But at some point, Big G is probably going to have to be pitting for those mediums, and it's going to be interesting to see how well Total Recall can stick behind Big G. And obviously, there's a lot of dirty air around this track, especially in sector 2. So whether or not he could do any good, we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be really frustrating sitting in Big G's car, because he's just dropping off the back of those front two. They've got they're in the world of their own at the moment, I think, and you know, he was counting on those mediums probably being a bit quicker than what the front two have, and he knows he's just dropped out of DRS this lap, and he's going to be annoyed.
Yeah, sorry, Mass is going down the inside of turn 1. As he made it done, Dame Zero is very late on the brakes, as well as Dame Zero. As Dame Zero gets the outside, gets the grip, and goes for it. He's got a much better exit, but obviously Massey's got DRS. Is he going to be having a look down into turn 3? No, he doesn't. Sorry, turn 2, but he keeps it very clean. Oh, and Dame Zero just gets a much better exit down into turn 3. And Big Massey's just dropped down a bit. So a bit of a lunge there for turn 1, but I mean, if there's an opportunity, you've got to go for it, especially when this fight is on pole for first place.
Yeah, we might be seeing the true colours of these guys' setups, because I think this might show that Dame has got a much quicker car in a straight line, or either that or he's saved a bit more ERS to use down that straight. But it looks like Dame Zero might have a bit more there in the tank on the straights, which could be key information for Massey if he wants to make more moves.
Yeah, Total Recall is getting very close to Big G, just with 3/10 behind him. So obviously he's going to be in DRS range, but Big G on those mediums, is that going to help him round the final corner to get a much better exit? But we will watch with Total Recall, as it looks like Big G gets a little bit of a better exit as DRS is activated. Is he going to make a move? Big G doesn't have DRS. He's going to be looking. He looks down the inside, late on the brakes. Is he going to make the move down there? There's a little bit of contact. Total Recall goes around the outside, down the inside. And he's made that move work perfectly. A sublime move from Total Recall. Very nice, very easy, and he's gone. And now he's going to be on the charge for Massey now.
Yeah, very clean there, making us being very efficient with the move. He's going to want to get that move out of the way and move on to the front two. He knows that those are his fight. He's not going to be wanting to be stuck behind a medium runner, because Big G's going to have to pit again. So Total Recall knows that his best opportunity here in the race will be to push on and try and catch up with these front two.
Yeah, Massey, I think Finty Racing just set a fast lap of 118.8. So he wants some redemption, and he wants some of it back. So he's just going to go and push and see how well he can do. Really feel bad for Finty Racing. He's just been really hindered by everything. He's been really unlucky so far.
Yeah, that's going to be our car on the charge today. He's going to be the red mist has descended. He's going to be driving the nuts off that car.
Yeah, and Total Recall's already built a 1.3 second gap to Big G. So showing that those mediums really aren't performing as well as he'd hope. As Massey still a bit far away with those down the straight into turn 1. I think he's just going to have to wait until he's close enough to try and make a move on Dame, or just wait for Dame Zero to make a mistake and just really prioritise on that and just go for it.
Yeah, I think Dame did a great job on the overtake to hang it around the outside, squeezing Massey enough that it's fair but not, and just being able to get away with it and being able to hold on to the lead. So that could be a move that we look back on and say that won him the race, but I don't want to jinx it just yet. I know that someone will be watching this back and thinking, why did he say that?
Yeah, I mean, you may have just jinxed Dame already, so we'll be on the lookout for him. But I'm just having a look. A lot of time penalties are popping up. I mean, a lot.
Yeah,
So it's going to be.
it's a track of
It's going to
attrition.
be. Yeah, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to jump up with the penalties, and obviously who's going to drop down as well. Because I mean, you can gain positions or lose positions with time penalties. They have such a big effect on. I believe it was like Crowding Door has just left the session.
Yeah, I imagine he's having some internet connections today, which is really
Yeah,
not.
sorry, Massey's just gone down the inside of Dame Zero as a contact. Massey pushes and goes for it, and Dame Zero's had a little bit of contact with him. And that is so unfortunate. Massey just makes a brilliant move down the inside, a little bit of contact. And Massey pushes him way through into first place. Dame Zero is going to really need to be pushing, kick it up a notch, and just try and push to get that first place back from Massey.
As I said, that statement did not age well, but yeah, great move there from Massey. Full commitment into turn one. He's now got the beneficial clean air, and he's going to be one step to separate
Fincher
now.
Racing is getting very close now to Beardo Wheels. As Beardo Wheels has gone very wide round turn one. His next one side by side is Fincher Racing going to get a better launch. Oh, there's a little bit of contact as he's coming, and he's Beardo Wheels with a bit of an aggressive move there to just defend him. A little bit shaken from that.
Shadow Wolf is spun.
Shadow Wolf. Yeah. Very unfortunate from Shadow Wolf. Renault drivers haven't had a brilliant time round here. But yeah, a bit of an aggressive defence from Beardo Wills going into turn two. But I think Fin2 Racing was lucky to come away with that without a damaged front wing.
I think he's just got to understand that he knows he's the quicker driver. He should just be able to sit behind and wait for the DRS to carry him past. But I'll be interested to see how he plays this, because he's as I said earlier, the red mist has descended, and that could cloud his judgment a little as he's going to send this here. And yeah, nice to clean.
Yeah, sorry, just missed that. Yeah, very good move from Finter Racing. Is now going to be on the charge for his teammate. Maybe a little bit of team order saying, "Oh, mate, you mind slowing down?" But I don't think that's going to be happening. So Finter Racing is just going to be on the charge for the next person. He's just going to be going target after target, just going for it. Because, I mean, he's just got to put that anger into his race pace and just really push.
Yeah, he's really pushing now. Those mediums are going to be quick, but they might not last until the end. So it could be interesting to see how Fin2 Racing plays this from now until the end.
Yeah. GR8 is getting very close to Crowding Door as we're coming into turn 12, and saw him kick up a little bit of dust coming into turn 11. And obviously on those mediums, he's going to be a little bit quicker, but they're 12 lap old. So whether or not they're worn enough, but that's incredible. He's taking them 12 laps and still fighting those hard tyres. He's got DRS open, coming down the main straight, 5/10. So is he going to get any closer? Is he possibly going to send it? No, too far away, and that's a yellow sector.
That's Beardo Wheels off.
Yeah, Beardo Wheels just gone off in sector 2. So that's very unfortunate for him. Whether or not Fast Scoped or Beardo Wheels had a little bit of contact there.
Very interesting development. Is Dame Zero just popping outside of the DRS now? Massey's managed to lengthen a gap, and he's now got a 1 second gap.
Yeah, I mean, Massey's done an absolutely fabulous job of getting away from him. But GR8 adds sector 3, I believe that's Beardo Wheels again. But these two AlphaTauri drivers just need to sort out who needs to be in front. Because at the moment, they're letting Fragstar catch up to them, and they just need to decide who's going to go in front, let them go, let them charge and go for Big G. But at the moment, they're just going to waste each other's tyres unless they decide who's going to go.
I think that Eric's probably not been as aggressive as he could, A, because it's his teammate, and B, because he's on the mediums and he knows he's going to have to pit soon. But I think Crowding Door got pulled back towards GR8 because of his internet issues. So true pace, I think they're very similar. So it could be interesting. Hopefully GR8's being pulled along by the DRS. That's what he'll be hoping, and hopefully that will improve his lap times and improve his strategy as a result.
Yeah, Dame Zero has now got back into the 1 second time and is now at 5/10. I mean, and that's closing down at a rapid pace. So maybe he's going to be having a look for a move down the main straight. And he's just going to really push in sector 2 and sector 3 and just see if he can get an absolute brilliant launch off of turn 14. You just really got to prioritise that turn 14 exit. If you get a really bad exit, that's it. You've lost it. But if he can really push to go and get it, and that is a yellow flag.
Yeah, he just got out of the way of the leaders there. So good job there from Beardo Wills, not interrupting the flow of the race.
Yeah, and Dame Zero is getting very close as we're coming into turn 14 now. Is he going to get that exit that he needs? Yes, he does. He's still there. And obviously with that lower downforce setup, is he going to be catching up to Massey? But Massey's absolutely ripping away. Dame just can't catch him. But now that he's in the DRS, he's just going to stay there until an opportunity arises for him.
Yeah, I think the momentum is has truly shifted into Dame Zero's court, and he's now going to use the DRS to full effect and try and close up the gap and make a move for the lead of the race. This is a brilliant race. This is turning out to be the closest gap on track. Is the lead pack?
Yeah, Finter Racing just got past. He's gotten past his teammate. There's probably some team orders there asking him to get out of the way, and GR8 has finally pitted on those, I believe, 13 or 14 lap old mediums for another set of mediums, and will be on the charge for Kylie Boy, but Finter Racing is charging up behind him, so Finter Racing is probably going to see GR8 and he's going to be, as you said, the rest missed. Just go for it. Just going to go for it. Absolutely send it. But Dame Zero is really keeping in that 1 second gap. He's now 5/10 behind coming into turn 14. So it's just ever so slightly gained that gap a little bit closer every time as he comes into turn 14. And he's pushing everything up. He's got overtake on, DRS open. Looks like Massey is saving energy down the straight. He doesn't feel like he needs to fear Dame at this point down the straight. So, I mean, maybe Massey is just waiting and just gaining as much energy as he can. As Fragstar is very close to crowding door. As DRS is open, overtake is enabled down the straight. Is he going to be looking for a move? It looks like Fragstar. Oh, sorry. Yeah, crowding door is just getting away from him.
Yeah.
Fragstar just really wants to get that move done because they are on the same strategy. So, and he's going to have a look down the inside. He's making the move, but crowding door just hangs it around the outside. Really great defending from crowding door. Fragstar just saw that and just went for it, and Fragstar just get a little bit. Crowding door just gets a little bit on the curb on the outside. And Fragstar's getting very close. Hopefully, he doesn't go on that inside curb. But yeah, these two are getting very close to each other coming into sector 2 now.
Yeah, Fragstar's got the net pace in his advantage here, and he should realise that and realise that he's probably got enough pace to make it past crowding door. But as we know, having a pace advantage and actually being able to make the move are a big difference here at Hungary. It's yeah, you never know whether or not the move's done until you are past.
Yeah, and once again, Massey and Dame just going down the straight, and there looks like, I believe that's Beardo Wills that's just gone off and I believe crashed out. I don't have anyone to see what's happened.
Yeah, that's a crash and retire. Fragstar's passed.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. So now that's going to be a VSC for the rest of the drivers. So, I mean,
Big G spam.
Kylie Boy pits. Oh. And Kylie Boy pitted, make the most of this. And I don't think many drivers are going to be bothering to pit. Maybe Big G because he's on 16 lap old mediums. Whether he's going to take this to the end. If he does, I'll give it to him. Bravo. But Kylie Boy looks like he's the only one making the most of this VSC. At the moment, everyone's just holding their gaps to each other. Although the gap that hasn't held is Dame.
Oh, he's right on the back of him.
He's now 10th, so obviously Massey just hasn't had a good time under that VSC, and Dame's just loving it under that VSC as he's now 4/10 coming down into turn 14, turn 13. Massey goes very wide, and Dame's just pitted. Whether or not he's just left the session, If he has, that has cost him the win.
Oh no.
Yep. That is so unfortunate from Dame Zero. His AI is just taking control and stuck him on the mediums.
They should be able to make it to the end, but that
those
is...
cards would have taken that to the end. He was battling. He was hopefully looking for a win, but so unfortunate. And now Massey, with quite a comfortable lead of 5 seconds to Total Recall.
Yeah, if I could,
with an 8-second gap.
if I could bring your attention to the Kylie Boy, GR8, and Fintu Racing pack here, those three are going to be looking at a quite the strong battle coming down into turn 1. Fintu Racing on the back of GR8. GR8 just freshly out the pits, but Fintu with a set of older tyres. GR8 goes a bit wide. That's going to put Fintu Racing right on the back of him. Pulls up the inside. That's aggressive there. Bit of dirt flying up. Oh, they touch.
Oh, and there's a little bit of contact. I mean, it's so unfortunate, but Fintu Racing just barges his way into P8. GR8 is not going to be happy with that. Not at all. But Fintu Racing, as you say, probably a little bit frustrating. He's just not going to care. Just going to go for it. There you go. That's proved that right.
Yeah, the dust on the way in there, sort of proving the point that the Fintu Racing is really going to add something now. Our pole position sitter is really fallen down the grid as a result of a few errors, and is now on the way through the grid as well.
Yeah, I mean, as well, if he has if he doesn't have a lot of penalties, a lot of people around do, maybe he's going to be having a little. Oh my goodness! As he goes, as Farskype just went down the inside of Shadow Wolf, and then I don't know what happened there, and that's a safety car.
Dame is going to be in prime position on those mediums as well.
Dame has somehow been blessed by the gods of Codemasters, pitted him, I mean, on a very odd strategy, going for another set of mediums, and has pulled out a safety car for him. Wow.
You just cannot write this stuff, can you? It's really gone a very interesting way here in Division 3, and we'll see what the consequences are.
Yeah, and now with the grid all close up, with just over 9 laps left, Total Recall pits. He may be going on for those softs, quite possibly.
Yeah.
As well as Massey as well, so that's gonna. If Big G, is he gonna pit as well? Yeah, he does, as well as a couple other drivers.
Denzo stays out
on those fresh mediums.
Here we go then.
I mean,
how's this going to work out?
As they've proven, those mediums do have a similar race pace to.
He's got the Ferrari of recall, and he comes out in second.
So really, he hasn't been too hindered, but obviously Massey is going to be on those fresh softs.
Oh, this.
But towards the end of the race, it's going to really ramp up with those mediums coming into play for the last couple of laps. So whether Dame can just stay behind and stay with him for the rest of it, and Total Recall goes on the mediums.
Yeah.
So obviously he's thinking that the mediums will be a better choice than the softs. So Dame hasn't got too much competition from behind if he's also on the mediums. There's been a quite mix of people who have gone for either fresh set of mediums or fresh set of softs. Crowding Door notably going on the fresh set of mediums. So whether it's not that they didn't have enough any more mediums or softs left, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to mix up the pack massively and obviously bring everyone together for the last couple of laps, and this is really going to ramp up for Division 3, and this is going to be an absolutely incredible race today.
Yeah, it will be a bit annoying for some people who've been put onto the mediums that they used in quali, but it's going to be a really even playing field, and the soft medium difference at the front could play a pivotal role in how this race is decided. Massey might be able to sprint off at the start, as we saw with the beginning of the race, but Dame Zero could close up the gap instantly if the soft start to fade off, because 8 laps is going to be, you're going to be at the end of their life. Oh.
Yeah, and I believe, so I know there's a couple lapped cars in the grid at the moment, notably Carve, I don't know whether this is just me, but is he supposed to overtake the rest of the field?
It depends on whether or not the safety car has a light that goes up on the top lights that will display saying you can go past. And yeah, so A-Turk is another one of those that has been put in the middle of the leaders at this point. But he'll get a notification saying he can pass at some point. Whether or not he's been given that, probably not. So he might not be. We might end up with a few people in the middle.
Yeah, this is going to be really unfortunate because obviously they're going to just hold up people that he's stuck behind, that have been stuck behind these back markers. And let's just hope that they don't get in the way of other people and respect that they have been lapped by the cars. Yeah, I hope that they get told to overtake the safety car.
Weird one there from Crowding Doors AI. I think his internet issues are kicking in. That is, yeah, big.
Yeah. Has he just dropped down a couple of positions?
No, he's basically his internet's lagging him forwards, and he's having to give up places to go back to where he was. At least I think that's the situation. But yeah, it's fine. I think Carve is getting out of the way of people by basically sitting on the chicane, which is nice of him. So yeah.
He just doesn't want to get in the way. Let's hope that A-Tug does the same as well.
Safety car in.
Go, because I think, yeah, safety car is in this lap. As we are going to get ready to go green. And this time it's Massey leading the safety car restart as we're getting ready, coming into turn 13. So we're going to see when he's going to go. He's really backing up the grid now, so A-Tug's got a 5-second time penalty.
Well, interesting to see whether Matty gets in.
When is Massey going to go? And he's away. I believe he is. Oh wait, no. I thought he was away, but...
Oh, he's got a big gap here.
He's going to go out. And there he is. Away he goes. And we go green for racing. Dame Zero already getting past the back marker. Total Recall having a look on Dame Zero. Is he going to be making a move? He's looking down the inside, lay on the brakes. He's moved down to the inside. Is he going to make the move? He gets up in front of Total Dame. And that is a brilliant move from Total Recall.
Up a G on the back as well. Big G's on the inside. Doesn't make the move in the end.
Yeah, Big G, yeah, he's just going to be moving up the field. Finton Racing gets past his teammate as well. And it's just really close between the people on the front of the grid. We've got blue flags from the back markers, as I believe. But yeah, brilliant start from Massey. Obviously, he's been really benefited by that back marker being there, getting in the way. Total Recall has a brilliant move down the inside of Dame Zero down into turn 1 as that's the second time he's done that. And Dame Zero gets a little bit squiggling out on the exit as there's a hash of A-Tug that's gone off, and Dame Zero is really closing to Total Recall. Big G is also trying to catch up, and Crowding Doors really feeling the threat from Frag Stars on those softs. So as we expected, those soft runners are going to be really quick in the start. Massey is obviously going to be pulling away leaps ahead in front of Total Recall, and there's another safety car,
This is really going to play into the soft runners' hands. They're going to gain. They're going to not lose as much tyre wear, and Finton Racing's coming to the pits again. Maybe questioning that decision, but yeah, damage is probably a motive there.
Likely, but maybe he's just wanting to go on the softs and just going to go up the field. But another safety car, just a couple laps after the safety car is.
As the Americans, there's an American saying, cautions breed cautions, which in F1 language be safety cars make safety cars, and it's never been more true. Yeah, this is really spicing it up, really.
Yeah, so this is going to be an absolute last couple lap drama. Those soft runners are going to be heavily benefited, as you just said. Big G, is he going to try and pick up the last podium place from Dame Zero? And Fragstar maybe making a move on Crowding Door. Getting very close to
yeah.
Was just getting very close to Fragstar, uncomfortably close. But yeah, people would drop down. So Finton Racing, I think he's just, you know what, he just thought, safety car, may as well go for those softs and let's just go for it, you know. I mean, it's very bold from him, but whether or not it's going to work out, we shall see.
Yeah, I think Dame Zero may be out for revenge here off the restart, so he'll be right on the back of Total Recall, and yeah, he's going to be out for blood when the safety car comes in. Other notable storylines will definitely be will be Fintu racing down the grid with the softs as you mentioned. He's stacked up right behind his teammate on the 19 lap old hards. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, Toto Rico was very lucky to just send it down into turn 1 and make the move work. That's what he did. He made the move work, and that may have just given him that sealed that second podium place. He's going to be under a lot less threat than Dame Zuri because he's obviously got a soft runner. I'm not too sure who's just joined.
Yeah, maybe a guest appearance from one of your usual commentator co-star.
ERN D6W.
Yes.
He's coming to watch for the end, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think you can sense the anticipation here. It's really racking up. For maybe this could be a 3-lap shootout until the finish, and we could end up with all manner of people getting points, scoring podiums, or even the win, depending on how this falls. It could go anyone's way.
Just having a look, Shadow Wolf is on 20-lap old hards, so he's going to act as a real boat for Fintu Racing. So he's going to be like, oi, get out of the way, I need to go and capture people. So hopefully Shadow Wolf doesn't get in the way of Fintu Racing, especially being his teammate. He's going to want to let him by as quick as possible. But Shadow Wolf is collecting those last couple of points. And he'll maybe thinking, you know what, I want these points, so you can back off. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So no back markers in the way for the front grid.
Yeah, Carve is the only lap car, and he's just in the middle of 9th and 10th. But given how the safety cars have been so far, there could be points for everybody if only 2 people fall out of the race.
So there we go, safety car is in the lap. So for the 3rd time today, Massey is going to be your leader today to get underway for Green Racing. So when is he going to go? So he's not really backing up the grid too much. I think he's just going to want to get away and just get going with it. As he's backing up the pack now massively now. He's getting ready and he's starting to go. And away he goes around the final corner. Gets a very good start on Total Recall. And they all file in, coming down the turn 1. As Big G and Crowding Door going for it. Crowding Door is going down the inside, lay on the brakes. Big G is later on the brakes, going round the outside. And Big G's made that move sublime round the outside. Crowding Door is going to be really annoyed with that. Fast Scope has made the position on GR8. So both the Alpha Carries have just been overtaken on that opening lap for after the safety car. Total Recall has already lost almost a second to Massey, and Dame Zero is going to be really prioritising that with just 4/10 now, and he's going to be out for blood. He wants that podium. Big G is also going to be thinking about getting the last podium, but he has dropped back a little bit, but those softs will come into play very shortly. Crowding Door is probably going to be wanting that position back, because I think he managed to win it on the start. Big G was just that bit late on those down into turn 1. Fragstar just 2/10 behind Crowding Door as we're coming round to turn 12 now. Massey leading away with 2 seconds quite comfortably, and Total Recall with just 5 turns behind him is Dame Zero, and Dame Zero as Fragstar makes a move as Crowding Door is dropping down the grid as he's gone very wide.
No. That's just a lag, that's just a lag. Sorry to interrupt here, but I've just had a look in the race director, and Massey, I think, has a 5-second penalty from a collision with a Turk on the second safety car restart. He's going to need a 5-second gap if he wants to win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. But also Dame Zero, I believe, has a 3-second time penalty as well. So probably that's going to be cut down to 2 seconds. I'm not too sure about Total Recall, so there's going to be a lot of time penalty, especially people being with such close proximities, just being a couple of tenths behind each other. Fragstar getting very close to Crowding Door on those soft times. He's going to be looking for a move, hopefully down the straight. He goes very wide there, just after turn 4. But Dame Zero is just really wanting that second place. Puerto Rico really dropping behind now, 3 seconds. Massey's got an absolute fantastic start, really getting away as quick as he can. Fintu Racing also 1/10 behind now. GR8, he's getting very close indeed. Is he going to make an early move before the straight, or is he going to be sensible and wait for the straight? We shall see. He's getting very close to the back end of GR8. Is he going to make a move? No, he doesn't. He gets a very good exit. Is he going to send it? He's having a look. No, he doesn't. So very safe from the driver. He's going to wait for down the straight as we're coming round the final corner. Massey's coming around the final corner to
Fintu Racing sent up the inside into
34.
10-13. There's a bit of contact there. GRI goes out wide, and Fintu Racing gets the position into 10-14.
Yeah, very good. Dame Zero is going to be trying to catch if he can, but obviously DRS is not going to be activated till the next lap, if I'm right.
Yeah, and that will be the last lap. So 1 lap to rule them all.
Yeah, 1 lap to rule them all, and we will see who comes out on top. Dame Zero is really sticking to the behind of that Ferrari of Toto Rico. He is not letting him out of his size. Big G, surprisingly, has dropped down by quite a lot, just under a second now.
Oh, hang on a
As
second.
I don't know what's happened with Dame Zero, as Big G has just passed him, coming down his turn 4.
I don't know what's happened there, but that's going to be devastating. That's the safety car gone, and there must be damage.
Must be damage. Fragstar is just having a look.
Yeah, that left-hand side end plate on Dame Zero's car has gone. There might have been contact there, but yeah, that's
so unfortunate. Fragstar is just having a look. Is he going to be making a move now or down the straight? Maybe down turn 11. Is he going to make a move? Gets a good exit. Is he going to push? No, he doesn't. Party door is defending for his life as we're coming down into turn 13 now. Is Fragstar going to make a move? No, he doesn't. The following behind, very closely behind, is Kylie Boy and Farsco. He's just 2 tenths behind that Williams driver, but is Fragstar going to be making a move? Gets very close to the rear end of the priming door. DRS is activated. We've got a train of 5 people now coming onto the final lap. Fragstar, is he going to be making a move? He's going to be looking for the outside. No, moves to the inside. Is he going to be late on the brakes? Not late enough, but it gets very close. Kylie Boy is getting very racy with him, and Farsco as well. Just following very closely behind us.
Fintu Racing.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a look, but this train is going to be fighting all the way to the line. And this is absolutely incredible stuff from Division 3. Fintu Racing is getting very close to the Red Bull. Is he going to be sending it up the inside? No, he doesn't. Keeps it safe. Farsco goes a little bit wiggly on the rear end. Fintu Racing is going to be looking like the one to make the moves here. Is he going to be making a move? As we look down the inside, sends it late on the brakes, and brilliant defending from Farsco. Fintu Racing is probably a little bit annoyed now. He just wants to get past him and go. As we're coming onto the we're on the final lap now, so this is going to be it for the drivers. Is Fintu Racing going to make a move? Gets on the gravel there. Is he going to make a move? He's on the power. No, he's not. Is there going to be any moves? As coming across the line is Massey to take the win at the Hungarian ring for Division 3. Brilliant stuff. And Toto Vehicle comes across the line just 2 tenths behind. Just 2 tenths behind. Big G follows in for 3rd place. Dame Zero holds 4th place, and he's dropped down the order massively as Fragstar jumps up to 4th, Farsco 5th, Fintu Racing 6th. Really gained a couple of positions there. Kylie Boy, GR8 for 8th. Dame down in 9th place, followed by Crowding Door as well. And that was an absolutely hectic race and a hectic final couple of laps as well.
Game gives Total Recall the driver of the day. Up until the penalties were applied, I would have had my money on Crowding Door, but I think he got a little unlucky with how many penalties he got given there. But yeah, big congratulations to Massey being able to stretch that 5-second gap at the end just so he could hold on. He deserved it this today.
Yeah, Massey's done an absolute fantastic drive. Yeah, really well done, Massey. I think that's another win for him. I believe he won the last race, but fantastic stuff from Massey, the Williams driver. Really proving himself today. Fantastic job from Division 3.
Yeah, providing a great entertainment on Tuesday night. And that was brilliant.
I'm either giving it to Massey or Fragstar, our driver of the day. Who are you thinking? I'm going Massey or Fragstar.
I need to have a look at the race results, but I think both of them have had a very good race there. Fragstar starting from 11th, yeah, that's a really good job, and I think...
I think Massey, I might give it to Massey.
Yeah, I'm going to give that to you. Being able to stretch that gap at the end there was
just... Do you mind inviting him to the pie?
Yeah, I will do.
So, finishing off, our winner today is Massey, followed by Total Recall and Big G picking up the final podium, followed by Fragstar, Farscope, Fintu Racing, Kylie Boy, GR8, Dame Zero, Crowding Door, Shadow Wolf, and Carve. And then I believe the rest were DNFs, A-Tuck, Beardo Wills, Willa Howard, and Zach's Beast, finishing off the DNFs for today at Division 3 at the Hungarian Grand Prix. So, great race from Division 3 today. I thought that was a great race. And then, what did you think of it?
Oh, I think that was brilliant, and I think our race winner, Massey 555, has joined the party.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I mean, bravo.
Cheers.
Bravo, man. Absolutely brilliant race. You've done such an incredible job. And you, at the end with that safety car, you blitzed it. You were like a bullet. You were going. I mean, well done.
Cheers. Yeah, I had
How was the
to.
strategy?
I got a 5-second penalty because ATA was one of the lap cars that hit me under the safety car, and I couldn't remember the rule for the life of me of if you get a 5-second penalty and then there's a safety car. So I just thought I need to get 5 seconds ahead of recoil, just in case it doesn't get taken away. So I was just every lap I was just absolutely pushing it to try and get those 5 seconds.
Yeah, we could see it, and you only got it by 2 tenths.
I was pushing.
Would have gotten that. Yeah, I mean, well done, man. Great job. Brilliant stuff as well.
Cheers.
Anything else, Anthony?
No, I think we've summed that up pretty well. Division 3 delivering once again, and I think you'll have to tune in next week for another brilliant race.
Yeah, I just want to say I feel really bad for Dane because we haven't had a battle since Australia, and we were really finally got the battle, and Codemasters, I want to swear, but screwed us out of it. What was going to? I mean, I was looking forward to that probably as much as Dane was, but gutted for him because we were on it. We were just like exchanging lap for lap. It was one of my favourite races up until that point.
Yeah, it was great to watch.
Yeah,
as well,
really
so unlucky.
Yeah, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Division 3, for an absolutely fantastic race today at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we will see you next week, hopefully with ERN D6W helping me, and at this Spa Grand Prix. So, we'll see you then. Goodbye.
Cheers, bye.